So these days, it is not uncommon to find nurses that are ready, like their CVT is ready, their IELTS result is ready, yet they're struggling to find jobs in the UK, mainly because they are from red list countries, okay? And it's really sad to see our brothers and sisters go through that. When I see such comments, sometimes I don't even know what to say. There are people that are able to come through the self-sponsorship routes, come here, on a visit visa. I've done a video about it. They'll come and do the OSCE themselves, and then it's a bit easier for them to find jobs. However, for those that are struggling, probably your IELTS is expiring or your CBT is expiring, and we all know you have 2 years to finish the entire process, or else you have to start again. So, for such people, it's really sad. But guys, this is especially for my nurses and midwives in the UK from Africa. Those that are in the UK, especially those that are from red list countries, Ghana, Nigeria, whatever. All those that are from the 47 plus red list countries, please, there's a way to go. Stop that. Our gentleman here, Oheneba Aduse, he's been on my channel before, so we're not going to go about who he is and all that. He's a band 6 nurse in the UK NHS, yes, and then he's figured out a way that we can use to help our brothers and colleagues who are back home in red list countries and have things ready that we can use to help them so they can get employment here. Okay, so what is it? What way can we use as people here to help our colleagues get jobs back home? Because we are not recruiters. How can we help them?
Okay, thank you, Danielle, for today and the interview. I remember the last time I was on your channel, I talked about this, but maybe not extensively. And then I mentioned that one of the ways to help people, apart from them going through the track jobs and then proofreading their documents and making sure that they've done all the checks, is to do what we call referrals or recommendations. And at this moment, it's a bit of a challenge, especially with the track job applications. People are not even finding the international nurses vacancies and anything. And especially around this time of the year, it's almost difficult to find jobs on track jobs because it's almost the end of the year and the employers are not recruiting around this time. If you contact an employer, most of them will be looking at recruiting at the start of the next financial year. That should be in about April. So it's almost like people have their exams ready, but then there are no employers for them. Yes. And so that's a big challenge for people now. And so what I thought of was, how can we help people? Because you are in the UK, maybe your employer is recruiting, but you have no idea why they are not getting your friends. So like you mentioned, I got the opportunity to join a team, like a band 6 role, and it sort of helped me to work not directly, but with the recruitment. So I thought of it that why not reach out to them? Because I noticed that in my trust for some time now, they have been recruiting people that have been coming in from some of the red lists. And as you know, with the red list countries, even though there's no massive recruitment ongoing, the people can apply directly and then they can get some jobs. So what I noticed is you could actually help them by making a recommendation or referral as somebody who works within the trust. So initially what I thought of was I reached out to the recruitment manager. Unfortunately, I had seen a pop-up on our trust intranet where one of the recruitment team members had mentioned that I think somebody from Ghana had come in and given them some box of chocolates and other things, and they were happy about it. And it was one of the recruitment messages for the month. I was like, oh, okay, since they mentioned something like this. So it happened around that same time that I got a very random message from the recruitment manager. It was something about international nurses, but not really about recruitment. It was about people who had come from international nurses that had come in and how I think they were hoping in the UK, some survey or something like that. So I was like, okay, I will respond to the survey, but why not take the opportunity to respond to her email? So I responded to her email and I acknowledged that I've got friends back home who had come through our trust, and some of them are very appreciated. Nonetheless, I had also given our trust's email to other people and they were not getting any feedback. And then I don't know what the problem was, how come some people are not getting any feedback. But I also mentioned that I know there are thousands of people reaching out to them on a daily basis, so it's a bit of a challenge. Is there any way I could help? Or is there any way any of us could help? by probably recommending. And then she just replied. Actually, it took like a month, but she actually replied and got back to me like, yeah. You could actually recommend some people, refer some people. Just that it wouldn't fall under the trust referral scheme, because I think some trust or some places have some referral scheme where there's some bonuses for people that refer. But because of this whole WHO something, it will not fall under the same scheme. I was like, oh, I don't have a problem with that. I just want to make sure that people who are trying to reach the recruitment actually get the opportunity to reach them. And she was like, okay. So I asked her if I could refer some people. She said yes. I just put it in a platform that I'm on, that I've got these slots, and so people that were interested in that could reach out to me. And trust me, in a space of like two hours, I had like 20 people were already reaching out. But then this was me who had just spoken to the recruitment team and just told them that I will get some people. And realistically, you'll be looking at 2 or 3 people. So it actually took me like 4 days before I could put it on a page, because I was thinking about it, whether I should just send some 2 or 3 people I knew or give other people a chance and see. So I put them together in one group and then asked them for some requirements. Actually, I was given a requirement as to what exactly they wanted. And I think any employer or any recruiter would have their own requirement. For in my case, they were not considering employing people or recruiting people in the shortest time. They had given a time period, say up to next year, some early part of next year. Let's say March or April. They didn't specify when. But then I mentioned it to the group that this is what they've mentioned, but you're just there. It's probably expired. You are not taking any chances. Only that the condition in this particular instance was that they wanted people who IELTS were not older than 6 months. They needed at least 18 months left on your exam period, like for the validity, and 18 months period left for it to expire. And her reason was that because they don't know when exactly they would bring the people in, they don't want them to have a very short period. And also because my trust runs like a 3-month OSCE preparation. So if you have a very short time on your exam, let's say 6 months to a year, if they don't bring you in by March, it means that by the time of your OSCE, you could be getting to just a month or 2 left on your exam results, your validity, which is not really realistic or reliable, because then if anything happens and you don't pass your OSCE the first time, then you're going to put everybody in a very inconvenient position. All right. So fortunately, I sent the first batch of 15 people, and it took like a week. 13 out of the 15 got feedback. The 2 that did not get feedback were because they didn't meet the criteria that they had given me. But I was just trying to see if they could be called, because some of them had reached out to them via emails and other things, and they had not got any feedback. So I followed up for them to see why. I didn't really get any concrete feedback, but then some of them have gone ahead, had interviews, and even interestingly, as I was speaking to you, I just got information about an hour ago that some of them had been successful and have been contacted to give in an offer.
Let's also not forget to mention that your trust gave you a link to send to these people and to apply. Right?
So what happened is, I put their documents together in a single file, like individually. So one person. So for the 50 people, I had 15 documents. So you don't send me your IELTS and your CBT separately, because it becomes very difficult. So each person had to put every document in one single file. Yes, and with your name. So I just forwarded it to the recruitment. And I think in this instance, they asked me to put like the subject to be like referral, international nurse, like overseas, something like that. I've forgotten the thing, but something like that. Referral, international nurse, overseas, so that anybody in the recruitment that sees it knows that this is a referral. In that way, because apparently they actually encourage people who are within the trust to refer, or recommend. Because I remember before I came to the UK, one of the questions my trust will ask you when you're applying for their job is, do you know anybody within the UK? And then which of their site would you want to be? Because so that if in case you know anybody, then they could give it such like that kind of consideration. So let's say if somebody was in one of our sites and then wanted to recommend, then the person that they recommend will be asked if they wanted to go to the person's site or anything like that.
Yeah. I'm saying this because some people can misinterpret this whole thing that's going on to say that now you are sort of like acting like an agent, because you know, red list or with the code of conduct for international recruitment, the rule is that the person should apply directly to the trust, right, or to the employer in the UK. So if I remember the last time you visited me, you mentioned that they still sent you a link for sent to the people for them to apply.
Yes. So with this process, it still falls under the direct hire, because it's like the person emails them, and then they reply the email. It's like they reply the email that I sent to them, to the individuals. So the individuals would then get a link to apply onto track jobs. So it's not as if they have been. It's like the person gets a link to apply. So you still have to apply.
So the person is still the one in the long run doing the direct application. It's not like you are serving as a link, because then it will be like we are breaching. So if you are listening to us, the lesson here is that you know, feeling the pain of other Ghanaians or other people back home who have passed CBT and IELTS are not getting the response from employers on track.jobs, you decided to just respond to a random recruitment email in your trust, and then now ask them if you could recommend. And you did not even recommend one or two, you recommended over 15 people. 15 people.
The 15 was those that actually went through my direct recommendation. But before then, what I used to do was I initially sent the link to the recruitment to them, and then I tell them that draft an email and I'll proofread. So I was literally proofreading the emails for all the people that wanted to send before I got that opportunity. And so before I did the 15 recommendation, I had about 5 to 7 people that had done the direct application and had feedback. But it was because some people were not getting feedback. That was why I was curious about why not recommend them in one single go. Yeah.
So did you already have a relationship with the recruitment team because you're a band 6 nurse?
No.
You didn't. So that means, do you think all other overseas nurses currently in the NHS can also use this? Do you think it's just because of trust, or you think people in other trusts can also try?
I think once your trust is recruiting, they know about direct hire, and they know that people can still apply to the trust directly. It's just that sometimes, because the trust is probably not recruiting from registered countries, then they may want to withdraw from these things. But you can just reach out to them and say, okay, can this person apply directly? Can you get a link that the person can apply directly to the trust? And most of the time, the recruitment team wouldn't have a problem with that. Or if they have any concerns, they'll let you know what exactly. Because I've also had people who told me that they spoke to their recruitment and they said, okay, for them, they can recruit, but you need to be in a particular place. So for instance, okay, if you are applying from, let's say, Dubai or a particular green listed or another place, they could get you in. So those things also work. It's not just the NHS. I know some care homes that also give their employees, like the employee slot to bring other people in, like to kind of recommend. Because you know that the NHS, most people, the employers are more concerned about retaining staff. And staff retention is a huge problem, because people come in and then they move, especially within England, because those of us who stay around London, people consider the cost of living and want to leave the slightest point into, like staying for a short while, they want to leave. So if they feel like if you recommend somebody, and let's say your friend or your somebody related to you comes around you, you might want to stay. So that is why I think some of these things are in place within the NHS, so that to encourage people to stay within the trust.
So I'm pleading to all foreign international nurses in various NHS trusts and in various care homes and private hospitals. Every facility or every organization has a recruitment team or recruitment whatever. I think we should try and then, ask for things that, I do have colleagues. Even if you don't at the moment, you can just reach out to them and say, I have colleagues that have passed their CBT, have passed their IELTS, but are struggling to get jobs on track.job. These are hardworking people, blah, blah, blah. Is there any way you can facilitate their, recruitment, or is there any way that I can get a link to send to them? Even if you don't have any of such people, I have thousands of them on my Telegram. So you can always reach out to me. Give me if your recruitment team gives you the go ahead, please do send it to me on info.nanel@gmail.com. Reach out to me so that I can forward it to people that are desperate, people that are giving up, people that are struggling, like honestly, and so that we can help all of them. If you are in the NHS, if you are in a private hospital, if you are in a care home, please. If you ask and they say no, you tried.
Yes.
But
so
if you do not ask, you will not know. For instance, I just randomly, ask, and then now he's been able to help 15 people and 13 people have been successful so far. So please, if we were all doing it and if you getting 2 people, a lot of our we could be able to help loads of our friends. Please, let's do this. And if you are watching me and you're not in the UK yet, and you have friends in various NHS, ask all of them. Ask all of them.
We're going to put a lot of pressure on people.
Yes, they should ask. See, starting the journey is difficult. I don't even know why the English should expire. Should expire? Because if I was speaking English well and I passed my IELTS 2 years ago, you should expect that I'm even better after
now,
2 years. Why should this have an expiry? And CBT as well. Why should I have to start? Look at the money involved. Okay, so if people are having to start afresh, and it's sad. And when they come to you in your comments, you don't even know what to say. When they come to you and they reach out, you don't even know what to say. It's like it's so sad, so frustrating.
What even pains me is it's like the people that have passed the exam a long time ago, especially with the criteria that was given to me, those people don't have a chance. But those who probably just recently wrote and passed the exams are rather getting the opportunity to come in. So it means that if the person wrote about a year ago, it means that person either has to consider rewriting or
maybe we should something. Do a petition that people from red list countries or wherever now we are struggling to get jobs even if we apply directly. Therefore, NMC should take out that 2 years rule from there. I mean, maybe we should.
I don't know how that would work out, but there's no harm in trying.
Well, if we have lots of people voting, maybe we can try. Yeah, because this is so frustrating. It will amaze you the number of people that have to go through this. It will amaze you.
And talking about the referral, one of the things I want to mention is the people that have the biggest opportunity to refer people are those who are recently coming into the UK through the NHS. Why am I saying this? When you're recruited into the NHS, the recruitment team deals directly with you. Okay, so until the point of arrival, there's a member of the recruitment team that is working with you. So even before I started this, it was something I was doing in some of the WhatsApp groups that I was in. I will tell you that if you get a job, because I'm the admin, so people will reach out to me that I've got a job, I'll be like, if you've got a job within this place, before you arrive, speak to the recruitment team member who is dealing with you. So you have this person, you have that person. You like to speak to, recommend some people. And I've had people recommend other people and then it was successful. Because the recruitment team member knows you directly, like they know you personally. So it's not like, so for instance, in my case, I've been here like 2 years. If I was trying to reach out to the person that dealt with me, it would be a long time ago. Like the person would even forget my name. But fortunately, the recruitment team manager who I spoke to was at some point that dealt with me during my recruitment. So even in my email, I actually brought up all that is like the instant. Oh, like I joined the trust around this time. I came in and I've been able to progress from this level to that level, like kind of appreciating the progress, like what the trust has done. I drafted this email, waited weeks before I eventually
clicked on. You were still contemplating send. Or thinking about it or how to respond to you or whatever.
No. Even me, when I drafted the message, I didn't send it. I left it in my draft for weeks because initially I was thinking that is it going to be like conflict of interest in my current role, like because I deal also with international nurses, so it's like is it going to be like I'm bringing just my people inside the role or something?
Guys, he's an OSCE teacher,
so I was a bit concerned about that.
Yeah,
I won't create anything that would kind of affect all of that, but I was like, well, let me just give it a shot. You never know. Let me just give it a shot. If they respond and they say, oh no, we can't do that, then fine. But then there was no harm in trying, and I did.
There's no harm in trying. That's what I want to say. Your final words for people, both those who are sad and depressed because they are not getting the opportunity, and then those that are here as well. Your final words.
The truth is, people should understand that around this time of the year, getting jobs are difficult. And for some reasons, even those in the NHS, I don't know about the care homes, even getting extra shifts and other things have become difficult. I think it's a whole NHS thing. So maybe very soon there may not be a lot of job advertisements like that on in the track jobs or any other place. It could get to that point, but then 2 days ago I was telling my people that at this point try every opportunity that's available. Don't just put all your bags in the UK basket and think that you're going to wait for the UK. But while you have the chance and your exams are valid, reach out to people, speak to people. And the last time I said it, this journey does not require, I don't want anybody to know about it. You really need to speak to somebody. Speak to somebody. You don't know where your help will come from. And the interesting thing is, Nanel, out of the 13 people, the 15 people that I sent, the 2 people that did not get the slot were the 2 people I personally knew. And that is it. But then it happened that there was a criteria and then they didn't meet it. So sometimes it's like that. You never know where your opportunities will come from. And I know people that join a lot of groups and other things. If you are in 1,000 groups, you just need one offer that will make a difference. So just keep reaching out to people and make sure that your CV, your documents are ready, so that when people have opportunities and they reach out to you, it will not take you another day or 2 before you can submit your document. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It might not get easy, but then people should keep trying.
Thank you very much, guys. I wish you all the best. Okay, if your thing is expiring, don't give up yet. Reach out to people. Let's see what happens. All the best, guys. God bless you all. Bye.
Bye.